And this is the last point of this video, and one of the most important and strange ones that I found to get used to. But hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be telling you everything you need to know before you move to New Zealand. But before we get into that, I have to explain my outfit. This is the Oodie. Fluffiest hood as well. At home I have a massive oversized dressing gown which I wear 24/7. I just couldn't fit it in my suitcase to bring it here, so I didn't. I thought I'd buy one when I got here. Then Oodie emailed me and I was just like, I was skeptical. I'm not gonna lie, I was skeptical.
I can't agree to promote your product if I don't know what your product is. I said if you send me one for free, then I'll just see if I like it, and if I do, I'm sure I will let people know.
Wow. If you do not have an Oodie and you are a comfy, cozy girl like me, you really need one. I actually initially chose a different one. I chose the Capricorn one, but it was out of stock, so I had to have a different one. So I have this one, what are they called? Dash hounds. Sausage dog. Sausage dog Oodie. Inside, it's all completely made of this really nice white fluff material. Outside, it's just like the softest like blanket material. It's supposed to be like a blanket you can wear. And the most exciting thing is that I have got a discount code to share with you. Cat Turner 35. It will get you 35 New Zealand dollars off. I think they're only about $80 in the first place. I want to buy one for everyone I know. Enjoy and thank me later. Now to get into the actual nitty-gritty of this video and why you came here. I'm actually getting too hot in this filming because I'm so animated all the time. But when I'm sat down at my laptop working from home, I'm the perfect temperature with this on. Okay, here we go. I have got a list here of 14 different things that you need to know before you come to New Zealand. So number one, Amazon Prime is a luxury that does not exist here. It doesn't exist. Online delivery in New Zealand generally takes 5 to 7 days. It's a lot slower than it is in the UK or in America. So if you're needing something quickly, really you have to go into a shop and search through the shop to find what you want. And when you're new to the country, you're not necessarily going to know which shops you should be looking in for different things. And I know that that may sound petty, and 10 years ago, 15 years ago, the UK was exactly the same. But now that we're used to it, things like New Zealand to UK adapter plugs, when we first got here, we didn't bring any with us. And we just found it really hard to find them in store. Most of the places that we found them, they were sold out. And we ended up ordering online, but they took a long time to come. So then we're without adapter plugs for a week. I would highly recommend, if you are coming to New Zealand to live here, bring at least 3 adapter plugs and at least one what's it called, long extension cable, a UK extension cable with like multiple plug sockets, you know, the long white ones with like 4 sockets. Because there's so many UK things that you're bringing, your laptop, your phone, that you need a UK plug charger for that you already have. You don't want to be buying New Zealand ones when you already have the UK version. Blah, 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 blah. I don't need to go on. Number 2, this is a very interesting fact which I never really thought about before I came here. And I guess I also really didn't know before I came here, like, what food do they eat in New Zealand? And to be honest, like, it's very similar to the UK. But the most popular on-the-go snacky food is a meat pie. It will be a small hot meat pie, a bit like how in the UK we'd have maybe a sausage roll, a hot sausage roll. They will have a small meat pie and you just snack on it out of a bag. It's like the size of a little pucker pie, and they're everywhere. There are little local bakeries, but if you find a bakery here, it will not be selling donuts and bread. It will be selling hot meat pies and a few like cakey bits. Number 3, talking about food brings me on to the flavours here and the, I don't know, what do you call it, seasoning. Everything here compared to the UK is either very salty or very sweet. I don't know what it is about Kiwis. Maybe their taste buds are numbed. I'm not entirely sure. Essentially, anything you buy that's supposed to be sweet, like, I don't know, chocolate or cakes or donuts or things, are extra sugary. It's like they've poured another bag on top of the sugar that's already there, which is already plenty. And the same with salt. We've been having HelloFresh, for example, and so many of the meals have been so salty, like it's kind of unpleasant. We bought some ready salted crisps, which were like double salted. It was a bit insane. I definitely know some people in the UK, however, who would love that, who put salt on everything, but it's too much. Cadbury chocolate is so sweet here. It's different. It's not the same as the UK. It's a different recipe and it's too sweet. Just butting in quickly to say, if you are still watching and finding this video helpful, please subscribe to my channel. It helps me make more videos, helps me spread the word further, and means you won't miss vital information about New Zealand or any of your other travels. Number 4, staying on the topic of food, the supermarkets here are not the best. There's not that much variety. You will not be finding the same brands as you find at home in the UK, and it's all just really expensive. Because there are less brands here in general, I feel like there's less competition, and therefore the brands themselves don't have to be as good to compete. Do you know what I mean? But somehow, and I don't know how this works, the food in restaurants is not that expensive and it's really good. Like, on the whole, New Zealand restaurants in general have been really good quality and they're keeping their prices down somehow. And that brings me on to point number 5, which is, if you go out for dinner at a restaurant, pub, bar, wherever you are, if you go out for food, you have to get up and go to the bar to pay your bill. I don't know why, it's just the Kiwi way. Number 6, public transport is not great. There are no kind of reliable train links throughout the country. There aren't even trains past a certain point on the North Island, certainly. I don't even know if there are any trains in the South Island. Buses are okay within cities, but as soon as you get outside of a city, you're really struggling for options. To be honest, the only way to get around New Zealand is either by car or by plane. Number 7, New Zealand is not cheap. I strongly suggest saving up as much as you can before you come here. Roughly, the cost of living is kind of similar to the UK. I'd say in terms of pay and rent, it's fairly similar. Maybe the pay is slightly higher here, but it really depends what industry you're in. And the whole point of coming here is to go and explore New Zealand and do lots of trips and see the amazing landscape and scenery that New Zealand is famous for. So you're gonna want some money in order to do those things, and it's not gonna be like going to Thailand and paying £2 for your dinner. It's just, it's Western world prices. If you're coming here on a working holiday visa, you should already know that you have to have a certain amount of money saved in your bank in order to actually get into the country anyway. But if you do want to get a better idea of the approximate cost of living when you're here, I have linked down below the government's cost of living calculator for New Zealand. So go and check that out. Okay. We're on number 8 and we are moving on to our weather related section. First up, it is not as hot and sunny as you might be imagining here. I feel like in the UK, we often group Australia and New Zealand together as just this like hot, really sunny beach all year round kind of a place. But let me tell you, New Zealand is not Australia. In fact, while it does vary throughout the country, to be honest, Auckland is very similar climate-wise to London. And if you're thinking of coming to New Zealand for a whole year or more and you're wondering what to pack, just pack like you're going to be in the UK for a whole year or more. You still get all 4 seasons and it definitely does get cold. Number 9, just like in the UK, it rains a lot. The other week, honestly, it didn't stop. Monday to Friday, rain. All morning, all day, all evening, all night long, for a whole solid week. I swear it didn't even stop. Number 10. I know I just said it's not hot and sunny like we picture Australia to be and that it rains all the time, but when it is sunny, you really know about it. The sun here is so strong. I think it's to do with the hole in the ozone layer, but don't quote me on that. But seriously, if the sun is out, you absolutely cannot go outside without factor 50. You can actively feel the sun burning your skin. Number 11. Is that how you do 11? On top of all that, rain and sun and cold and seasons and everything, you can also expect to experience some seriously extreme weather conditions here. Mini earthquakes occur all the time throughout New Zealand, but most of the time you will hardly notice them. What's typically more damaging is the cyclones. I think we had about 10 cyclones within the first 3 months of living here. That might be an exaggeration, but it's what it felt like, and the flooding was horrendous. That's definitely something to think about when you're looking at somewhere to live. Definitely consider flood risk. Number 12. There's no central heating. This is where the Oodie comes in. There is no central heating, or at least it's really rare to find it. Most accommodation in New Zealand will have like an aircon unit that does hot and cold air. There's also a real lack of double glazing. Yes, that's a bit of a problem. It gets very cold inside in winter, and that is why you need an Oodie. Cannot say anything more. Okay, number 13. Unlucky for some, crossing the road. Oh dear. You are not allowed in New Zealand to cross the road if it's a red man, and you also have to cross a crossing if you're within like a certain distance, like 20 meters or something of a crossing. Then you have to cross at the crossing. You can't cross 20 meters away, but if you're 21 meters away, you're allowed to cross the road. Oh, it's all very strange, but basically when I'm walking to work in the morning, I go across loads of crossroads, and the roads are like empty, but it's all traffic lights, and the traffic lights are so slow, and nobody crosses. Nobody just goes. Nobody just looks left and right and works it out for themselves, and it's like, oh, nothing coming for a while, I'm gonna cross. No, it doesn't happen. Just doesn't happen here, because I guess because it's against the rules, it's just not within the culture here. It's not a habit. I'm just used to London where everyone's racing to cross the road. People are walking straight in front of cars, a bit like New York, I guess. I can't lie, I do break the rules. I do cross the road when there's nothing coming, because I need to, you know, I've got places to be. I'm not waiting for a light to change colour when there's nothing on the road. Some people follow me and some people give me dirty looks. Okay everybody, point number 14. This is the last point of this video, and one of the most important and strange ones that I found to get used to, and it will become relevant to you literally the moment you step foot in this country. When you go to a till to pay for something in a shop or at a restaurant or wherever you are, if you're going to pay for something, they don't ask you if you want to pay with card or cash. They ask you if you want to pay with EFTPOS. I can't say it, that was a bad accent. EFTPOS, EFTPOS. It stands for something long, electronic finance something or other. It just means, do you want to pay with card? But they call it EFTPOS. And for a long time, I had no idea what that meant. And I was just like, card? So don't look like an idiot like me. Now you know, EFTPOS is card. If you found this video helpful, please click the like button below, the little thumbs up. If you want some more technical info on actually setting yourself up once you move to New Zealand, click this video here for information on setting up a bank account, tax number, etc, etc. Or if you're interested in finding out more about the culture, the pros and cons of living here, check out this video. Thank you for watching and goodbye!